What if I came up to you and I asked you the question, what does it mean to be considered a millionaire? How many boats do I need? How many yachts? How many cars? How many houses? Do I need $1 million cash in my account to be considered a millionaire? The answer is no. But what I am going to say is that every one of you watching this has a 100% chance of becoming a millionaire. But 99.9% of you are not even going to touch $1 million in your lifetime. And that's because being considered a millionaire, you need to be part of the 0.1%. And that's because having that net worth of $1 million and continuously making $1 million every single year, you are considered part of the 0.1% of the population. You are not the 1%, but the 0.1%. Which again, statistically speaking, 99.9% of you are going to fail. At this point, you're probably sitting and saying, okay, that's fine. I'm ambitious. I believe in myself, I'm driven, I'm a successful person. I'm gonna be part of that 0.1%. The sad part is to become part of that 0.1%, it's gonna take mental exhaustion. It's gonna take physical exhaustion. It's gonna take 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. It's gonna take you saying no to your buddies about going out on weekends. It's about you saying no to your friends about hanging out at all. Your goals are gonna seem unattainable. Your dreams are gonna seem unattainable. And all the work that you're putting in, you're barely seeing the effort. And every cell in your body wants to give up and not even become part of that 1%. The world has made it so difficult to become wealthy and become a millionaire. And honestly, I'm glad. I'm glad that it's that difficult. I'm glad that it's not easy. I'm glad that it takes a certain type of man and a certain type of woman to become a millionaire, to be part of that 0.1%. With all that pessimism out of the way, I'm gonna promise you this. This is my promise, my guarantee to you. If you do watch this video to its entirety, if you watch every step, if you follow every step, if you don't skip a step, I guarantee you that one day you're gonna walk up to your mother, you're gonna walk up to your father, you're gonna walk up to your loved one, anybody special in your life, you're gonna give them a very big hug, you're gonna look them in the eye, and you're gonna say, hey, mom, we're millionaires. Step one, educate, train, and earn. The education piece of it is literally going to school and acquiring a skill and a high income degree that'll help you earn money. The training piece of it is literally just going to the gym. Now you probably ask, why do I need to go to the gym? Waste my time at the gym for me to become a millionaire. Let me speak from my personal experience. Outside of dedicating and where I am in life right now, outside of dedicating to God because I'm a man of God, outside of dedicating to my family because I'm a family man, I dedicated solely to the gym. And the reason for that is because first, it teaches me to be a consistent person. I consistently 5 or 6 times a week go and train, so I stay physically active. Why do I want to be physically active? Because that keeps me in a healthy mental state. And I promise you, in this line of work, if you want to become part of that 0.1%, you need to be so sane mentally that the insanity of this lifestyle, the insanity of what that 0.1% throws at you, all the challenges that it throws at you, you need to be so sane for it that it just becomes a normality to you. So that is why you want to train, you want to be steady, and you want to go to the gym to be physically active. So then how do you earn money? There's 2 ways that you can do this in step 1. Number 1, you can go to school, get a high income degree, science, technology, engineering, medicine, find a job, and every few years I want you to jump companies so that you can negotiate your salary. A lot of times what people do is they stay steadily and stagnant in one position at one company, and then they ask, you know, it's okay, next year or 2 years I'm gonna get a raise and I'm gonna slowly become very successful at XYZ company. Realistically speaking, the raises that you're gonna get, they're probably 5, maybe max 10% of your salary currently. Whereas every 2 years, statistically speaking, if you jump from one company to another, you can negotiate your salary and get a 20, 30% raise, even at times, honestly, 50% raise in your annual income. Or if you don't want to go the traditional route, you want to be like, all right, man, there's Jeff Bezos, there's Elon Musk, there's all these other very, very successful people that didn't go to school. I'm going to go the non-traditional route. I'm going to skip school. I'm going to start making money on my own. The one piece I want to say to you when it comes to that is every one of those successful people, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, they already had companies that were worth millions, if not billions of dollars before they even decided, hey man, school is not for me. I want to take this company to the next level. So unless you have something like that going for you, then I suggest go the traditional route. Education is important. I went to school, I had my job, I went to the gym, I was a full-time student. I did all of these things and I dedicated my success to that. But if you're so keen on not being educated, then you can go the non-traditional route, which that has its benefits and its flaws as well. The benefits are that literally the world is your oyster. You can become anything that you want, but also keep in mind that it's going to be 10 times more challenging becoming a millionaire in that way than it is from a traditional route. So you pick the alternative route and now you have to worry about earning money. And you can't be picky here. You can't be like, man, you know, I like doing this, I'm going to do this. I like doing marketing, so I'm going to do, I'm going to start a marketing business. My friend, you don't have the convenience or the luxury of killing time and finding what you want to do, what you like to do. Right now, you need to be focused on earning as much as you can, as fast as you can. So what I want you to do is download every single delivery application. Uber Eats, Instacarts, DoorDash. If you're a good driver, download Lyft, download Uber, start driving people around. And even if you do that for 6 days a week, on average, people that work 10 hours a day doing DoorDash or even doing Uber Eats or even driving people around for Uber, they make about 300 hours a day. So let's do the math. You're working 10-hour days, 6 days a week, even though technically you should be taking no days off, because if you want to be part of that 0.1 percentile, you need to really work 7 days a week. You can't have the luxury of a work-life balance. That's just the reality of this hustle. But let's just give you a day off. You're working 6 days a week, you're working 10 hours a day, delivering, doing DoorDash, or driving people around for Uber. You're making 300 hours a day. That puts you at about a $7,200 monthly salary, which annually you're making about $86,000 a year. Congratulations, my friend. You're delivering food for people and you're part of the 20 percentile of the population. You're 20% and your goal is to be at 0.1%. So we're slowly making our way there. We're getting there. So let's say 10 hours a day you're doing DoorDash. 2 hours a day I'll give you for your commute back and forth to work, maybe commute to the gym. I'll give you 7 hours for sleep. Even though you could do with 6, I'll give you about an hour for your bathroom breaks and for you to eat, which that leaves you with 3 hours a day that you can work on something else. What should you do in your 3 hours? Find a secondary source of income. Start applying every single day. In those 3 hours, I want you to apply to as many jobs as you can. Part-time positions that you can do from your phone. There's jobs like that you can do from your phone, from your laptop, at a cafe in those 3 hours. Things like a data entry clerk, things that pay you maybe $15, $20 an hour, but those are hours that you can work and earn money. Find any sort of a job that you can work in those 3 hours. And let's say that annually from DoorDash or doing Uber, you're bringing in about $86,000 a year, and you find yourself a secondary job. Let's say on a minimum, you're making $10,000 a year from that. You're almost at 6 figures. I know you're working your ass off, but congratulations, you're almost making 6 figures. That was only step 1. We're finally at step 2, which is building outside. This is a part of your life where you've become the man that you are today. The man that goes to the gym, the man that follows a very strict schedule and does it every single day, the man that follows a strict regimen and does not complain about it, the man that works on his body, on his physical health, on his mental health, the man that delivers on his projects or literally delivers food. I don't know, whichever route you take. And most importantly, this is the part of your life where you actually start to earn money and income. So at this part of your life, what I want you to do, let's say if you took the alternative route, is find 3 hours extra out of your day. So at this point you have almost 6 hours a day to work on yourself. So what I want you to do is find those 3 hours. Let's say if you're delivering food, I want you to carve out the non-busy hours of your day. So let's say from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. where people are not really eating a lot of food, everyone's in the office finishing up for the day. Those 3 hours, I want you to go to a cafe and do these 3 things. Number 1, identify a business that has demand in your local area, or doesn't have to be in your local area. Number 2, ensure that you personally have interest in that business, because if you don't, you're not going to start it and you're not going to take it serious. And number 3, I want you to spend those 3 hours to learn actionable steps that you can take to finally start that business. So for example, let's say they have interest in buying and selling cars, and that's a business that you want to start. In those 3 hours, you can find many videos on how you can, start a dealership, on how you can buy and sell cars. Or you can literally go up to a local dealership and be like, hey guys, I work in this area. Every single day I'm off for 3 hours from 2 to 5 p.m. Is there anything I could do to help you? And I guarantee you, one of these dealerships is going to give you a job, whether it's cleaning a car, whether it's doing anything else for them, some paperwork. What you want to do is get your foot in that door, and that's going to allow you to learn things from the inside. Learn the intricacies of the business itself. How does it work? The business model, how to buy and sell cars, what cars do well, what cars don't. And you'll get to a point where you'll actually be able to start and know how to run this business yourself. Or if you just want to open up an online store, go to a cafe, spend those 3 hours teaching yourself on how to build an online store, how to do a Shopify store. There are millions and millions of videos out there on how to do e-commerce. So you're pretty much spending those 3 hours of the day that you carve for yourself where you're not working. This is to educate yourself, right? Because we didn't go to school. In those 3 hours, you're going to educate yourself on that specific business that you're interested in, that you can start very quickly. And what's going to happen at some point is those 3 hours that you dedicate in educating yourself, you're going to get to a point where you fully know how to start this business, where you fully know what business to even start, and you fully feel ready to start that business. And it's going to go from you educating yourself to you taking those actionable steps to actually acquire and start that business. So you might go and find a storefront with parking spaces to start your dealership, or you might actually start building your website for your online store. So the education and the idea is going to transition to actionable steps, and it's going to transition to you finally starting that business. And it's finally going to get to a point where those 3 hours are spent on you actually working in that business, earning money through that business that you started. Step 3, everything seems like it's unicorns and rainbows. Everything just goes as planned. Everything was successful, right? You went to school, or you didn't even go to school, didn't even get educated. You were able to earn a 6-figure income. You were able to acquire a skill and teach yourself a skill and start your own business. You did all of these things. So why is it so difficult to be part of that 0.1%? And you knew it wasn't going to be that hard. So why do people say it's so hard? The challenge here is not that it's only the 0.1% that can acquire a skill, start a business, earn a high income. It's not just the 0.1%. A lot of people can do that. The challenging part is that the 0.1% steadily succeed in that. They start that business, and every year, annually, they make $1 million every single year. So while you're out there thinking, man, this was easy. I did all those things. I went to the gym. I got an education. I even started my own business. I did all of these things. While you're out there thinking this, and your first business venture fails, and that failure hits you, and you lose your first $1,000. You lose your first $10,000. You lose your first $20,000 that you dumped into this idea, into this venture, into this business that you thought was going to make you a millionaire. And life gives you a reality check, and every single cell and your body's like, what the fuck just happened? All that hard work, all the countless hours that I put into this, every single day. I used to wake up so early. I used to go to the city and drive for 10 hours every single day. All that money is gone. What do I do now? And naturally, every single cell in your body at that point wants to quit. It wants to give up. You choose that this life is not for you. That's where most of the people give up. That's why 99.9% of the people that are watching this video are not going to become part of that 0.1%. Because that first business venture, it hurts so fucking much, and it's okay to feel this way. You truly don't even have the mental or the physical capacity to be like, man, I have nothing, I want to start fresh, and I'm capable of starting fresh. And having that same mentality, having that 0.1% mindset of being completely okay with this, saying this is normal, this is a part of the hustle. Failing your first business venture, a lot of people do it statistically. Everybody fails their first business. What I can do from this is I can learn from this, and the next time I can build, the next time I can start fresh. I know exactly what not to do because I had a learning lesson. I had something that taught me so much where I can have a better foundation. I can start fresh, and this time, this new business that I start, it's gonna have a much less chance, a much less likelihood failing. So it's step 4, final step, the final boss. You have the mindset of a millionaire. You have a business and you're earning income like a millionaire. And at this step of your life, what I want you to understand is that part of becoming a millionaire, you need to be okay with the idea of diversifying your money, putting your money in different baskets. So when these millionaires sit in front of you and they say, hey, you know, I have 15 different businesses right now, doesn't technically mean that they have 15 businesses that they're running. It means that their money is tied in 15 different asset groups and asset classes that is earning them income. So in other words, they're making their money work for them. So step 4, when you have the mindset of a millionaire, and you have the income of a millionaire, what I want you to do is look around you. Look in the industries around you. What's doing really well? Is it real estate? Is it the stock market? Is it the crypto market? Is it maybe a startup that's doing really well? They have a lot of, they have high hopes in. And I want you to take educated guesses, right? At this point of your life, you're really good at educating yourself, at researching. Spend hours upon hours researching whatever avenue you take to dump your money into. Don't just blindly do it because you think it's going to do really, really well. Because remember, at the end of the day, even though you're making really good money at this point, this is money that you worked really, really hard for. So don't ever forget your day ones. Don't ever forget the challenges that you had to overcome, the hurdles you had to go through to get to this point of your life. So it's step 4, once you have a business that's booming and you have your money tied in different asset groups and asset classes, now you can sit back and be like, all right, if one business fails, I have all these other pillars, all these other asset groups that I can rely on to make sure that I never go broke. And if somebody comes up to you at that point of your life and they say, hey, are you a millionaire? And even though in your bank account, you technically don't have $1 million in cash, but you know in your asset classes, you have multiple millions of dollars in equity, you can finally look at them and say, yeah, I am a millionaire.